Hello everyone, it's Andre from SWL. This is my review of this radio, this CS-106. It is available widely on AliExpress and from other retailers at very low prices. You're able to pick this one up for about $10 or $11. And that is why I was interested. You know me, I like to find bargains. So I've seen this one for a long time. I think it's been available since about 2017. I've seen some reviews on YouTube from around that time. So I decided to buy one. I got it actually from Temu, and I paid about $11 for mine. It arrived very quickly. And this video is a review of this radio. It is also known as the Retekess V111 and also the Tivdio V111. And yeah, it is mostly sold as the CS-106 on AliExpress. The Retekess version is much more. It costs around $20. So if you're interested in this radio, just get it from AliExpress for about $11 or Temu. It might be available on Temu also in your country. This radio is as simple as it gets. It came in this box. Digital FM, AM, shortwave, full band radio. That's all. And there's some information on the back. It says here that it's made by Anrongda. So that is probably, if you want to give this a full name, it is the HRD CS-106. Because there on the box, quite clearly, it says Shenzhen Anrongda Electronic Company Limited. So they are the manufacturers. In the box, you find a very simple manual and some earphones. And that's all. The manual is just about 2 pages. You've got 1 page, 2, and a little bit there. But this is as simple as it gets. You don't really need a manual. This radio, I think, is quite comparable in price and size to something like this, the XH Data D220. You can see the size is almost the same. The CS-106 is a little bit bigger. And then, of course, we also have the XH Data D219. I think also comparable in terms of size and price. This one also retails for about $10, $11. It's basically the same size, but the D219 is a little bit thicker. All these, of course, are DSP-based radios. This one uses a DSP chip that is quite unknown. I'm speaking under correction here, but I think it uses a chip from a company called KT Micro, and the chip is KT0936M. This is some of the information that I was able to find online. So that's quite unknown. You know, most radios use the AKC chip, these days also the TF6686 chip or the Silicon Labs chips. But this one seems to use something completely different. Anyway, I was really interested to see how it performs because, as I say, it's been around for a very long time. It's a really cheap radio. A lot of people on my channel regularly ask me for inexpensive radio suggestions. So I thought this is a good one to try out and to see what it does. As I said, there is a manual, but it's really simple to operate. There's really nothing tricky about this radio. The only thing is that is a little bit different. There's an on-off switch here. So first you need to switch on the radio here, and then there's a second press required. You need to press the on-off button here and hold it in for a little while. Then the radio turns on. So that's nice in a way because it prevents accidentally turning the radio on if it's in your pocket, because you need to toggle this little switch on the side. It's got an earphone jack there for stereo. You can use DC 5-volt power, but the radio operates with batteries. It uses just 2 regular AA batteries. I'll show you there. If you look at the back, we have a little kickstand here, which is handy while you're using the radio. The coverage, there's 2 FM channels. It covers FM from 64 to 108 megahertz on 2 different bands. Medium wave is from 520 to 1710 kilohertz. Shortwave is from 3.2 to 21.85 megahertz. So it's not the full shortwave band, or full shortwave bands, but it covers most of what most regular shortwave listeners would listen to. You can change the medium wave steps between 9 kilohertz and 10 kilohertz depending on where you are. So it's got that possibility. There's no tuning dial, so you tune either with these tuning buttons here, It's also got a fast scanning function. If you press this up and down, it just skips according to the steps of the band where you are in, like 5 kilohertz, for example, in shortwave, or 9 kilohertz in medium wave. If you hold it in, it will search automatically for the next station. If you hold in this memory button, then it will save the stations to the memory. But there are very few memories. It's got only 29 memories per band. So that's not really useful, actually. What is quite nice is this favorite button. If there is one specific station that is your favorite, you can save it here under this favorite button. And then it's very easy to access. You just click on that in any band, and it will jump to your favorite station immediately. There's a mute button, which is quite useful, and it's got shortwave, medium wave, FM. There's no alarm, but it does have a clock. There's also no sleep timer. It's odd though, when you press the mute button, it shows zzz, like sleeping on the screen. So to switch it on first, this button, there you can see we have the time. Press and hold this on off, and it will turn on. I am in medium wave now. I'll just demonstrate to you the fast search function. The tuning is, as I said, you use these buttons. Press it once, skip in 9 kilohertz steps, press and hold. It will search until it finds the first station. There's one, but it's weak. There's one. Press and hold memory, and it will search and save in the memory. There you go. It stops briefly at each station that it's finding, and then it jumps to the next one. The search in shortwave mode takes very, very long because it searches the entire band. So not only the broadcast bands, it searches everything. And it actually picks up just noise and saves them into the memory. So using this memory function in shortwave is not useful at all. Now we have our search done. You use this M+ button there to jump between the stations that have been saved. There we go. It's actually got Radio Lesotho, which is quite a distant one. You can see that in my test also. I saved already a station here in the favorite button. If I press it now, it will jump there. There you go. My favorite station is 102.7 megahertz FM. Let me just find randomly anything. There's a station. I want to save that as my favorite station. You need to press and hold favorite. There you go. And you see it briefly flashed and then it's saved. So let me go away from there. I want to go to my favorite, press it, immediately jumps there. So that's nice. You know, if there is one specific station that you listen to regularly, save it as a favorite, one click, it's there. Even if the radio is off, to switch it off, you turn it off there, then the time will display. To really switch it off, you need to, as I told you, toggle this switch there. Now it's off, the screen is dead. Just turn it on. Now you can also just press the favorite button and hold it, and your favorite station will come on immediately. No need to press the on-off button. So that's nice. I think overall this is a really cute little radio. I think for the $10, $11, if that is the price that you can get, it's worth it. You will see now in my test that follows, FM is the one band that really, really surprised me here. FM is excellent. It is, in my opinion, almost as good as the Chodosen DX286. You can see me picking up very distant stations, not my local FM stations, just with the whip antenna. And that's surprising. That really surprised me about this radio. So I think FM, absolutely, if you're looking for a very good FM radio, this $10 CS-106, a very good choice. Medium wave is good. It's fine. It picks up local stations and some distant stations. You will see it picks up Radio Lesotho, for example. My medium wave scan in the test was during daytime. And then there is also a shortwave test. And shortwave on the whip antenna is quite okay. It does pick up a couple of signals. When you add a bit of wire, of course, the reception improves. Some people have complained that there's some overloading. That would depend, of course, on where you are and whether you have very strong FM towers in your area. I did not experience that. But you will see in my FM scan how good it is on FM. The medium wave scan, it is really quite good, quite okay. Not spectacular, but it works fine. Shortwave is fine. It does pick up numerous stations and sometimes very, very clearly. So have a listen. First, we will have a look at FM.
In rugby nuus, die spanne van die Bulls, die Lions en die Sharks vir die 18de en die laaste ronde van die Verenigde Rugby Kampioenskappe is bekend gemaak en ons kyk gou na daai spanne Henny en dan ook 'n luisteraar wat gevra het oor die 14de minuut handeklap, 'n minuut handeklap of 'n applous in die wedstryd van die
om vir 'n minuut lank hande te klap en dit omdat Cornel Hendricks wat dan Woensdag aand oorlede is gereeld in die 14 try gespeel het. Maar ons sal kyk, hopelik dalk is daar 'n geleentheid dat daar dalk 'n vaste skram of 'n lyn staan is. Ek dink indien so iets sou gebeur, dan sal die spel dalk vir daai minuut.
Are companies talk to us. How does go?
There's some roadwork action that's happening on the N1 northbound on the Western Bypass, just after having on the drive that has left lane closed, so please be on the lookout for it as you make your way over there. Now you might see something else on the road that I've missed, or if you've got an update for me on something that I mentioned earlier, maybe you've got better detail or a better picture, I want you to let me know on the WhatsApp line, or tweet me using the handle at Impact103, and I'll be sure to include it in our coming traffic update at 4:30.
In die span ingebid is. Hy het 'n fiksheid geslaag na sy beenbesering verlede week en hy sal die span aanvoer Sian Kolisi wat 'n ruskans kry vir hierdie kragmeting. Net vinnige verwysing na die wedstryde van die Suid-Afrikaanse spanne. Stormers teen Cardiff vanaand om 7:00, Bulls teen die Dragonspan môremiddag om 3:00, Lions teen Ospreys 5:15 en die Sharks teen die Scarlet span in Durban 7:30 môre aand.
Dan in motorsportnuus, die McLaren Jaars het die vinnigste tye behaal in die eerste oefenronde voor die naweek se Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 'n Goeie jaar vir McLaren.
The FSPN.
You know you got the power, girl, to keep me
Why Mr. Children?
Renault. Some of the A-class models, for instance, are running on Renault engines.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't know, now you know. There you go. Just launched, let's talk the Hyundai. Is it the Alcazar?
Yeah, what a name, right?
What is that beast? What is that? Alcazar.
So the Alcazar has been around since around 2018.
As you saw there, FM really, really excellent. Next up, we will have a look at medium wave. I will show you a couple of stations.
Drop whatever you can spare to help those less fortunate at our studios at 18 Vessels Road, Rivonia. Blankets, scarves, beanies, gloves, everything is welcome at the LM Winter Warm-Up Drive.
LM Radio, broadcasting on 702 Media Wave, CS TV Audio Channel 821. on lmradio.co.za and on the LM Radio app and on DAB+. On the LM Radio Afternoon Drive from 3 to 6 p.m.
A couple of messages coming through. We're talking about the clubs from the old school. I got this one in from Jenny last who said, Hades, remember Friday nights in Hillbrow in the 70s? Bella Napoli used to be an absolutely amazing nightclub. Yeah, that's a good memory.
100,000 people on our various platforms, from Gauteng to the Cape. You simply cannot go wrong. So advertise today. Contact us on 012-334-1339. Or for advertising packages that we offer, go to www.radiopulpit.co.za. Terms and conditions apply.
See exactly why I want your tune this afternoon. I'd love to hear what song you want to drive home in.
Again, as you saw there, medium wave is not bad. The quality is quite okay. And then lastly, the shortwave scan. You will see I do the 31 meter band with the whip antenna, and then I show you the 25 meter band, and then I go back to the 31 meter band with a wire, just so that you can see the difference between the whip antenna and the wire.
Wanyawe mulu pale ana mukuto aihani wakaifa ki wanana ombara Yesu ni olavila vyaya wira imwive vano ya hihimya wira ni himvare ni hikunanira wira
So as you saw, shortwave is also not bad. It's really not, I mean, there's no way that you can compare this to much more expensive radios in terms of shortwave quality. But for $10, $11, this is a decent radio. If you are looking for a cheap radio, you want to just test the water with some shortwave listening, maybe this is a good choice. The nice thing about this is that you can see your frequencies, because the obvious other candidate is the XH Data D219, which is the same price. It's much more sensitive, for sure. The D219 is quite a bit more sensitive than the CS-106. But the D219, you have, it's kind of difficult to know which frequency you're on. If you want to ID frequencies with this analog display, it's difficult. So if this is an issue for you, then perhaps, it's better to get the CS-106, because you can actually see the frequency displayed on the screen, and you can look it up on Shortwave database or wherever and see what you are listening to. It will be a bit more of a challenge to find your stations on the D219. Although undoubtedly, this D219 is more sensitive on shortwave than the CS-106. Not on FM though. This radio beats everything on FM that I have. It's very, very good. The Chodosen, I think, is the only other competition in terms of FM listening. And surprisingly also, the Ligiani RD239 is a very, very good FM radio. Another candidate in the same price range is this XH Data D220. Very sensitive little radio, but all your shortwave frequencies are crammed into one tiny piece of the dial here. So it's difficult to isolate stations to, if you're looking for very weak stations, it's hard. I love this little radio. I play with it a lot. This is one that you just play because you never know what you're going to get. You just tune around and signals jump in, and it's fun to see what you are listening to. So this is another option in the same price range. And then, of course, the last one in the same price range would be this Klublad, the RD218. Very, very sensitive little radio. It's got a very short whip antenna. This radio is my walking companion quite often. I take it along and it does very well on shortwave. This one's got the AKC chip. It's a little bit noisy. It's got some electronic noises when you are listening. That is not something that I experienced on the CS-106. So in the price range of these $10, $11, $12 radios, this is definitely an option. All of these that I showed you, they've got their pros and cons. I think if you're leaning more towards FM listening, definitely this CS-106 is a very, very good choice. And you can still have a lot of fun on shortwave with it. So I do recommend this if you are able to buy it at $10 to $12, not more, because I've seen that some places sell it for a lot more. It's not worth that. $10 to $12, it's a worthwhile radio. It's definitely something that you can consider if perhaps you were looking at the D219, but you actually want a digital display. Then, very good choice.
Andre the man from a land so wide.